All right, guys. JoJo on the radio in the studio. Just met this guy. I feel like I know you. Like I've talked to you 5 minutes total of my life. Quinn XCII.
Compliment.
What's up?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Quinn XCII. First, let me just get the bare bones out the way, the obvious things. The name Quinn XCII.
Yeah.
Your legal name has nothing to do with Quinn, to my understanding.
Not at all. My real name's Mike.
So, of course, it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
Your name's
right,
Quinn.
right.
How did give me the Quinn XCII, all that?
Yeah, so Quinn is an acronym that stands for Quit Unless Your Instincts Are Never Neglected, which means if you have like a passion or a dream inside and you want to go for it, I urge people to do that. And for me, it was like a childhood that was really shy, and I wasn't really vocal about my passions and becoming a musician and stuff. And one day I just was like, I want to do this, obviously, but I want to form a name that kind of fits the mold of what I stand for. And that was it. I just came up with that acronym, and it spelled the word or the name Quinn and stuck. And XCII we chose as the Roman numeral for 92, which is the year I was born, 1992.
Gotcha. And as far as like, and I've become like mildly obsessed with rejected band or artist names. I've heard some wild things over the last couple of months and whatnot. Last year.
Yeah.
You got any stories there?
Yeah. Well, I was just saying to you, Mike T was my first artist name. My real name's Mike. My last name starts with a T, and so
that makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah, but it's just not. It didn't stick. It didn't sound like, we're going to the Mike T show. It's like, what? Like, it sounds like that's like your neighbor or something, some guy that you hate, or So and look, people might think Quinn XCII sucks too, but I don't know. It seemed to stick with me more than Mike T did. So yeah, we just ran with it.
It's working for you.
Yeah.
So what the heck, right?
Yeah.
You're born, or you're from Detroit, basically, but you moved to L.A.
Yeah, about 2.5 years ago.
There is, I assume there is Detroit and L.A. I know L.A. Obviously, we're in L.A. But is that drastic differences in those two cities?
Yeah. Yes. You can say obviously easy stuff like the climate's different, weather is different, obviously. But mainly it's the people. I think the Midwest in general is just very, very welcoming, and people are saying hi to each other on the streets, and it's friendly. And out here, I just think it's very much more individual. And yeah, I don't know, and not in a bad way. I'm not saying in a negative way about LA, but
it's what it is. I guess,
it is what it is. Yeah, like it's similar to New York. Like you don't go on the streets in New York and say, "Hey man, how's your morning?" Like people just go tell you to F yourself, they don't really care, but back home it's totally different. And so I guess there's the difference, but it is what it is.
I get, I'm a shy dude, but I'm also like terminally friendly, which is weird. And there are times where I'll be in a restroom and somebody's washing their hands next to me.
Right.
Never at the urinal, clearly,
right,
but like washing your hands, like, and it's like all I can do to, maybe it's my awkward kind of awkwardness.
Sure.
I want to say like, hey, how you doing? And after I say that, I feel like, God, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Impulse, here? But it means you're a good person, But that's the city. I just think it's because everyone's just so consumed with their job and stuff here, and like New York, it's just a big city and there's a lot going on. No one has time for small talk, and I get it. Look, but
maybe so.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Quinn XCII is hanging out. You guys going to get to his track in a couple of seconds. We got to get to the music, of course. Yeah. But congrats on the upcoming. You're getting married in May.
Thank you very much. Yeah, wedding is in May.
And the bachelor party, Vegas,
yeah.
Which you were telling me off air here that the bachelor, it wasn't as crazy. Like you're not going to get immediately divorced, so that's a good thing.
No, nothing terrible happened. So that's good. But it was cool. A lot of my buddies hadn't been to Vegas before, so it was fun to kind of show them around. And also kind of give them cool treatment because I have some buddies who were DJing that night. So we went to a couple of clubs and just showed them a good time. No one died, which is good, and lost a bunch of money, but we all came back in one piece. So.
Checklist. No one died. Perfect. You win.
Exactly.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Give me the title of this track.
This song is called Life Must Go On. This is produced by a guy I really look up to named Jon Bellion, and he's featured on the song as well as a vocalist. It's the next single, and it just this album I'm putting out on February 15th called From Michigan with Love just really speaks on mental health and pushing that narrative about just bringing it more to light. And I think I'm living in a generation right now with kids who are really doing that, and it's really cool to see that. So I was really encouraged to talk about the struggles that I've had with mental health, and this song is sort of like the all-encompassing message behind the project, just saying everyone's gonna battle with tough stuff, but you just gotta keep going. Life must go on.
You've had your issues with which we all have, and we can all anxiety, I guess.
Anxiety, a little bit of depression lately. The depression was actually kind of like more recent with just making this album, funny enough, because I kind of finally started to get in my head a bit about what I was making and kind of just like my self-image and trying to hold myself to standards I just thought I needed to hit. And I realized that, my fans are so supportive and my family's so supportive, and I just have a great network of people that really care for what I do. And the end of the day, none of these things that I want to achieve really matter because I get to do what I love, and that's really all that matters in my opinion. So
as far as comparing yourself, do you think Instagram, which I love, and you do too, I'm sure, whatever, but like I've heard that comparing yourself to these other, which are probably fake lives on Instagram, that can eat away at you.
So no, oh my gosh, dude, yeah, it's so toxic. And well, for me, it's like, I hate saying it, but like Spotify, I'll look up at other acts and see what they're doing or how many streams they have or how many monthly listeners. And I think it's human nature to be like, oh, why am I not bigger than that person? Or you get competitive without even trying to be. And I think the minute you start doing that, you start forgetting why you made music in the first place. It becomes work. It becomes a competition, and it's just so unhealthy. And so for me, I've stopped caring about that stuff. It's no good for anyone. No one's gonna win out of that scenario. So yeah, it helps me more. Kind of stay calm and be sane too.
You're in a good place now.
Yeah, totally. And what's great about this album is, it was really therapeutic for me to talk about this stuff. So like I got a lot off my chest, and look, it's not going to probably be 100% better, but I'm probably going to still battle with some stuff. But it's good that I'm fleshing it out. And people are hearing it and coming to me with similar stories, saying how this stuff has helped them, and that's my goal. Just to help people as much as I can. As a guy, just to kind of single out guys for a second, I think you're almost told like you got to bottle this stuff up. I was raised like you can't be weak and stuff, and it's not good. It's not a way you should be living your life. You should be totally transparent, in my opinion, and let people see who you really are, because that's the only way you're going to make connections that are like true and genuine and honest, and it's going to help you in the long run too.
Totally.
So yeah, it's a cool thing to talk about, because I think it's very inviting right now, and it's helping me in the process too. More important than anything. So
yeah, and as an artist of all things, how your platform. First of all, you're getting it out, which is therapeutic. Yeah. And as an artist, people can just probably more people than you can imagine relate to that.
Oh my gosh!
All these, everybody's Instagram is perfect, but it's such a facade.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And it's funny. Like I'm not even really almost. You're 100% right in the fact that you see Instagram pages and you're like, okay, that.
And I do the same thing. I'm guilty.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we all do. And
look at me, and really, I'm a psycho. I'm a mess.
No, trust me. Everyone does it. No, yeah, man, I'm the same way. But, I kind of just took a look in the mirror, sort of metaphorically, and was like, if I'm gonna have this platform and the chance to really impact people's lives, I should be talking about stuff that really matters. And I'm not just gonna start making music just to make music. And I mean, look, I love making music, but I'd rather make a song that really it helps someone out rather than just being like, oh, having that person say, oh, that's a great song. I'd rather take it to the next level. And that's what the goal with this album was. So I'm hoping it does. If I can help one person out, I think that's job well done, in my opinion. So
Quinn, of course, the album From Michigan with Love, it's coming out February, what date?
15.
Of course, the track Life Must Go On. You guys get on this, or you're a bad person. I think it's safe to say all that stuff, right? No. Hey, a couple of things. I'm probably known for my more random questions, and here, this is the A and the B of this, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Biggest crowd you've ever performed for, Quinn.
Cool.
Flip of that, have you ever been booed?
Wow. Okay. That's a really.
Hopefully you haven't, but if you have,
I don't think I've been booed, because I think only because I don't think is booing really a thing anymore.
There's variations of the boo.
You're right.
Things being thrown.
Like it's not like I'm getting tomatoes thrown at me, you know.
But yeah, it actually. I've had some stories. Some pretty, like for example, Calvin Harris told me this is when he was on tour with Rihanna. When they had the track, his first track with Rihanna. Right. And you would think, and normally the boos happen. I sound like I've studied this,
Yeah.
Normally, Quinn, the boos, normally they happen when you're playing for somebody else's audience.
Yes.
So he was touring with Rihanna, he's telling me, in France, and you'd think he's got a song with her, that would be kind of a safe ground.
Totally.
He said they ate him alive. They wanted nothing to, granted, it's different now.
That's really unfortunate. For me, it's been same situation. I've opened up for somebody else, and instead of actual verbal boos, I can just tell everyone's in their own conversation. No one's paying attention to me. So it's like a quieter boo, and then the song's over and no one says anything. So that's almost worse, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather you boo me, because at least that's, you're doing something, So no, but I think
it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad. I guess not, but I think in a weird way that strengthens you as an artist, in my opinion, and you got to kind of go through that stuff eventually to appreciate the times when people love you.
Very, very true.
It's gonna make it feel sweeter. But the other side of your question, biggest crowd, I would say Lollapalooza. We did last year. It was like 15,000 people. It was pretty awesome. I also did this thing with the Texas Rangers back in the day. I had a song that was used in by one of their players, Ian Desmond, for a walk-up song. and they actually had myself and my buddy AOK, who made the song, come down to the stadium and perform it after the game. It wasn't a show, it was a one-time song thing performance, but that was like 35,000 people, but I wouldn't really consider that a show of mine.
Right.
It was just a random off experience. But yeah, Lollapalooza was probably the biggest to date, around 15,000, 10,000 people.
When you get that many people looking at you, and that number is going to grow. Next time I see you, it'll be like you performed in front of 80,000 people, whatever. When you get that,
knock on wood.
Yeah, no kidding. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
When you get that many people in front of you, is it just? I mean, it's what kind of emotions go through your
You know,
head?
you know what's funny is I call it a faceless crowd because so many people there that you can't really. It's actually less personal of an experience than it is if I was just, which makes sense if I was just performing for you guys right here, 5 people or whatever it is, because I can see everyone's expressions. I know I get a sense of how everyone feels, and it's harder to command the room, I think, in my opinion. But when you're playing for like 10, 15,000 people, you know, it's just, there's more of a gap there. Look, it's incredibly exciting, and the adrenaline is out of this, this world. Like Lollapalooza, I literally can't remember some of the moments I had. Like we had videos of them, so I remember I was there. But
like an out of body kind of experience.
Totally.
Type.
And I know that sounds crazy, but it really is. You're just so kind of enwrapped in the moment, and it's insane. So there's pros and cons to it though, because like I said, with that many people, you don't feel as connected to every single person as you would playing for, let's say, 500. Because in those situations, you feel like it's very more intimate and very, very more personal. But there's great things to small shows. There's great things about big shows. You just appreciate every single one, and don't take it for granted.
Agreed. I have more of an issue. No, well, I'm kind of used to it now because I've done this radio thing for quite a while. But bigger crowds are easier, I think. Small crowds
maybe.
are like, oh, like you go to hey JoJo, come speak at a kindergarten class. I'm like, it's just that's too rough.
Yeah, yeah. I don't plan on doing any kindergarten gigs anytime soon.
Oh my God. Kindergarten class, God,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Quinn, I'm obsessed with the paranormal.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I have been since a kid.
Me too.
I don't know how. I have a podcast called Paranormal-ish on the iHeartRadio app, wherever you get podcast at. And you were telling me that, and I don't know if there's a paranormal story attached to this. Your family owned what when you were a kid, or maybe they still
owns a funeral home.
What the whoa?
Yeah, right. So my childhood was really different in that sense, where I was around dead bodies. I'll just say it's it's not gonna
it is what it is.
Not gonna beat around the bush. I was around dead bodies growing up. Yeah, and I know right off the bat you're like, what in the hell is going on? Yeah, but with that, there weren't any. You would think, oh, this guy has to have, like I said, hundreds of these ghost stories probably lined up. I never personally encountered any type of paranormal experience, but I've been in few feats of dead bodies, like probably more than I can count on 2 hands.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's a real, as a kid too, and you probably would be like, who is this asshole's dad? But it wasn't like he was walking me into the room saying, hey, Mike, check it out. But it was from a distance. The prep room, as it was called, would be open. And as a curious kid, I would sneak down and look through the door and just just kind of be like, what is going on? And then I'd get kicked out quickly. But yeah, it happened. I was just around it a lot. I was around grief a lot too. So I think that's maybe how
That's got to be rough to deal with that.
I think I interpret death too, because of that, in a very odd way. I'm kind of just, I've had all my grandparents pass away, for example, and I was terribly, heartbroken about it, but I didn't cry at all because I've been around it so much, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's interesting. So the funeral home thing is weird, but it's the one business where I was always kind of weird talking about it with my friends, because it's like, whose parents own a funeral home? I was always the odd.
And here I am asking you this question.
No, it's cool.
Thanks, JoJo.
It is interesting though. No, look, it's fine. I don't mind talking about it, but I think I was more shy to talk about when I was younger, because I didn't know what kids would think about it. But yeah, it's interesting for sure. My dad is an interesting guy, but he's, I think it teaches you how to speak well in public and comfort people. He's great at that, because that's what he does on a daily basis. He just takes care of people sobbing, and so there's a pro to it for sure.
I guess I'm trying to think of questions that I've never spoken to someone whose family owned a funeral. Like when you.
Trust me, it's weird. Yeah,
it is like.
Like, for example, I'll give you a weird story. Like we would do casket rides on the caskets on wheels, and at late at night when no one was around down the halls, my dad would throw us down the halls.
No
and
way.
It's like a big wagon. You're just in a cast, I know it sounds insane. I know it does.
That sounds wild. Okay.
Yeah, but we'd be sitting. We wouldn't be in the casket. We would be sitting on top of it. So maybe that's a little better.
Have you ever let me sit in this thing and play vampire? Have you ever done?
No, never did that. I think that was. No.
What about your dad? Like your dad,
yeah,
or somebody said, hey, I forgot my my cell phone in the prep room, and it's like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Hey Quinn,
yeah.
Can you run down and get it?
Hell no, absolutely not. No. No, that never happened. And even if it did, I would be like, no.
Okay,
you can forget that.
Final creepy question. I had a guy call me once, and he said that he's working for a funeral home, and sometimes the God bless them, the bodies just move on their own. Not necessarily a paranormal type thing, but like the way this guy described it to me, whether he was telling the truth or not, I don't know. But it reached out and grabbed him. Now I'm sure it was just a muscle reaction, or maybe he thought that's what it did, and it didn't do. I don't know. But anything.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm actually really glad you asked me this because I do have something in this world. My dad. So I have two stories. I'll make them quick though. My dad was transporting a body from the wake of a funeral to the cemetery, and like you said, dead bodies still have reflexes in a way. Really, that's very creepy. But yeah, they can periodically kind of like have spasms, I guess. I don't really know what the scientific way of saying that would be, but maybe that's the way you would put that. But they were driving and had a dead body in the back of the hearse.
God, I'm not laughing at it, but it's just
it's insane. Yeah, all you can do is just kind of chuckle, and all of a sudden they hear this moaning, and it was the lungs of this body were something with the air was making it like burp or something, and they just kept driving, and because he knew what it was, but they had a dead body in the back making noises as they were driving to put this thing in the ground.
But can you imagine if your dad, like he's been doing it for years?
Yeah.
But maybe the first time he encountered something,
gosh,
he must
even
have
imagine.
driven off the road.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked. Exactly. I would have. Yeah, I would have hit a tree or something. Yeah. But okay, so here's my second one. Just to make it quick. So my fiance's dad is a pilot, and he actually was flying with, and I don't know why they were doing this, by the way, because he doesn't work for a funeral home, but they were moving a body too over a few states and had to fly, and similar to what my dad went through because of the altitude, this dead body was something with the lungs like happened where the air was filled and whatever, and he was like shaking uncontrollably, like the air was coming out, and he was like again burping, but like. It's so gross. I don't even want to know if I should like get more into it, but basically making these horrendous noises, and it happened the entire flight, which was like a 4-hour flight. So imagine you're just in the cockpit, and in the cockpit is this dead body strapped, and he's moaning. So I mean, look, it's terrifying, yeah, but I mean,
it is terrifying.
It's almost not even. It's not paranormal. That's just like life. That's like a sign. It's just weird. But yeah, that's the closest I think I could give you to like a creepy ghost story.
Wow, and that what? Looking back on all this, I mean, that's a wild childhood kind of backstory, backdrop.
It is. I'm surprised I'm not like a serial killer or something. But, yeah.
Good Lord! All right, well, on that note, Quinn XCII has an album coming out.
Yeah, this is a good segue. Life must go on.
From Detroit with love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my, hey Quinn, it's a real pleasure to meet you, man. And now that you live in LA, which you've been here for 2 years now, if you're ever cruising around, that's JoJo on the radio, dude. Bring up or drop by or see what's up. Or let's do some in and out or whatever.
Hey, always, man. I appreciate it.
So once again, from Detroit with love.
From Michigan with love.
From Michigan with love. I'm sorry, I'm including the whole state there. Or from Michigan with love. Feb 15th, of course, the single "Life Must Go On" with Jon Bellion. Quinn XCII. At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official, sir.
Absolutely.
Bam.
Thanks, guys.